This morning, Israel is bombarding targets in southern Gaza after a week-long ceasefire fell apart on Friday. The pause in the fighting saw the release of more than 100 hostages held in Gaza and 240 Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. Israel says its forces struck more than 400 Hamas targets in the last 24 hours. And according to the health ministry in Hamas-run Gaza, at least 200 Palestinians have been killed since the fighting has resumed. This comes as NBC News has learned that Israeli military analysts warned their superiors at least 3 months ago of a Hamas plan designed to start a war, but were reportedly dismissed by their superiors. I spoke to NBC News foreign correspondent Raf Sanchez just moments ago. Raf, what's the latest, and is there any chance for a return to another pause in the fighting?
Well, Katie, I want to start just by giving our viewers a sense of the geography here. We're looking out over northern Gaza. It's relatively quiet now, but in just the last hour, we have seen plumes of smoke from Israeli airstrikes. We've heard the thunder of outgoing Israeli artillery, and just in the last couple of minutes, small arms fire from inside of Gaza. But the focus right now is further south. Israel overnight stepping up strikes on the city of Han Yunis. It says that is where Hamas leaders are hiding after they left Gaza City, but it is also where hundreds of thousands of displaced Palestinian civilians are seeking shelter after the Israeli military told them to flee their homes in the north. And Katie, it is not clear right now where they can go to try to be safe. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says more than 200 people have been killed since the ceasefire broke down on Friday morning. And our team on the ground inside Gaza says they are seeing in hospitals overflowing with wounded civilians, including many, many children. Now, we heard overnight from Secretary of State Antony Blinken, the United States is blaming Hamas for the breakdown of this ceasefire. They say Hamas reneged on its commitment to continue releasing Israeli women being held hostage inside of Gaza. The number of hostages, around 130 still after those 7 days of releases, but Israel lowering that number overnight, saying 6 people who previously were thought to be alive and held hostage, in fact, were either killed on October 7th or dying in captivity. And I can tell you, Katie, it has been absolute agony for the families of the remaining hostages as they have seen this ceasefire deal break down. They have seen the fighting resume after a week of getting their hopes up, of seeing other families being reunited. Qatar, which has been the mediator for these ceasefire agreements, says it is continuing to go back and forth between Israel and Hamas. It is still trying to broker a new agreement which could bring an end to the fighting, could mean more hostages coming out. But for now, there is no deal, and the fighting continues. Katie.